All right. Thank you for joining us for the finals. This Masterpiece series that you just saw that trailer for, that's coming for Playing with Power here at the end of quarter one, start of quarter two. This is a series that the team has put a lot of effort into producing and making happen for you, the lovers of cedh, and the people that have supported us across the years in any way, merchandise, Patreon, playing our tournaments here today, even watching on Twitch. It's all made possible thanks to this fantastic community. And I think it's going to be a great opportunity to get even more personality involved in the cedh space, and you get to see a little bit more of the politics and banters than you get out of normal Playing with Power video. And of course, it's going to have the same great production value that you always come to expect out of the Playing with Power studio. So thank you so much for your support over the years. We're here to produce more content that hopefully you will enjoy as much as we do. And with that, let's get down to the finals pod for the January Mox Masters event. All right, so we have here Lisby, who you've seen do quite a bit of work with this Bloodless Pod deck. Tim Natana going first. Our friend Richie here with the turn 3 kill to make it here from the semifinals. Going second, going third, of course, is Subjective Reality, who we've not seen too much of so far, but they are here in the finals playing Godo. Ryan is rejoicing, I'm sure, at home just beside himself. And of course, in the final seat is Sharky, who just won with an impressive Underworld Breach turn featuring Crom and Tavesh. Ashani, our finals pod, we've seen quite a bit of most, if not all of these players today. Who do you like here in this finals pod? Whose position do you want to be in?
I mean, every deck here is great. I would love to play everything. Love to see Godo back in the running, the classic, one of the boogeymen back in the format. But as biased as I am, I have to represent the big Richard himself, representing Kirk Sakashima. That's my boy in the finals. Glad to see he made it there. But after that, not a fan of the deck, I always say.
I was about to say, where are we in the universe that you're rooting for a Kirk Sakashima deck?
I'm rooting for the pilot, but Kirk Sakashima is not time for me to go to bed yet. But we'll see. There's been some great
sequences. Not time to go to bed
yet. Not time to go to bed yet.
You're gonna Godo to bed, huh?
The Godo to bed. Okay, that was terrible. But we see some good play from Lisby in a few times. I think we're going to try to see, that turn 1 Archon and piggyback from there into hopefully getting a win. And I've been seeing this Crom Tavesh deck popping up. A good Displacer Kit value deck popping up over the last couple of weeks. I've seen a few people playing it in the wild, so that's pretty cool to see. But for who I'm rooting for, I'm rooting for my boy Richie.
All right, that's fair. I have to say, I'm excited to see Krakashima back in the trenches as well. Like I said, I think we saw a little bit of a drought of that deck in events, top 16s and all that stuff. Maybe a couple top 16s here and there, but not quite the same performance we saw when Ken took down Tier 1 Con. God, I mean, what is that, a year plus ago with that deck? We haven't really seen as much of that. And I mean, I don't know. I'm a fan of most of these decks. Like I said, I interact a lot with Ryan, so obviously Godo has a spot in my heart, even if it's not for me. Not a deck that I would play. I think I do like combos. I like my mono red, but I'm going to be playing Bergie, not Godo. No, come on. Crom Tavesh is interesting to me. I do like my Grixis decks. That's probably the deck I'd be most likely to play of the split here. Maybe Krakashima, I don't know, of this pod. But going forth, it's a tough spot to be. You're going to have an explosive opener. Mulligans are going to play a big part as we see the players still resolving mulligans. I think that's going to be one of the differences you see between the good and great cedh players is the amount with which they mulligan. So this mulligan process here ahead of the finals going to take maybe a little bit longer as the players also having some great banter back and forth. These players have had an excellent day. And I believe are, super relieved to be here, super excited to play some high stakes Magic, and seem to be in high spirits as these players are resolving their mulligans. We will see who's actually going to keep a hand with 7 cards in it.
Well, seemed like Sharky on Crom Tavesh kept a snap 7. Could be wrong, but that's 7 cards, it looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you can keep with some background.
Godo seems like they also didn't say go. I think honestly, Godo have the potential to have some very busted starts. maybe a turn 1 3 ball. You know, we've heard, you know, in the wild that 3 ball could be a better than 4. So I'm here for that. A turn 1 3 ball without one player with great mana advantage is a good turn. So I'm happy to see this pod. This pod is going to be stacked. It's going to be great, and it's going to be a good watch.
That's definitely stacked. I mean, these players have earned their spot as we're kicking it off here with an Arid Mesa very quickly fetching. We'll see exactly what that one's going to grab. Like you said before, we did see Lisby kick off a pod with not a lot of mana sources, but a turn 1 Archon was more than enough to slow the game down and let Lisby win with a very powerful birthing pod combo over the course of like 3 or so turns, which of course you wouldn't have had the time for without the Archon of Amiria, as a scrub land is the find.
Ooh, okay. Do we have the same turn 1 Archon? That would be.
It was also Savannah last time. You know, we're not going to get the full deja vu experience.
It would be good if he's drawing that hot this tournament. It might just be hot.
And it is an Esper Sentinel. Arguably better if you're in my book, although no counter spells do make it a little less threatening than I think you would see out of the normal free counter spells decks where you're drawing to things like Force of Wills and stuff like that. Not to say Lisby doesn't have a lot of powerful effects. And, you know, if you let Lisby draw a bunch of cards here in the very first turn cycle, they're going to have an incredibly impactful turn 2 that's going to slow this game to a crawl.
I mean, I should.
Agreed.
Just kidding.
I think we might draw a card per turn. I think everyone is going to have something to do on their turn 1.
I mean, White Ancestral Recall ain't bad.
No.
White Ancestral Recall and attacks and blocks, hey, it ain't bad.
Oh, maybe not.
Yeah, not a lot. Doesn't really look like, is there not even that many cards to work with? As Sandstone Needle, the turn 1 play for Subjective Reality, probably one of the better lands to play on turn 1 if you're just kind of getting set up. Of course, Godo can kill on turn 1. This is one of those decks that is known for its explosive potential, but Sandstone Needle, a great way to set up for a powerful turn 2.
Did Richie go to a 4? Is that 2 cards he haven't hit? Or
it doesn't look like a lot of cards.
It doesn't look like a lot of cards.
Does not look like very many cards.
I don't have any responses, but
as we are fetching with Misty Rainforest in response to Sharky's fetch. I think this is to respect the Dark Ritual Opposition Agent play. As both players going to go shuffling, save a little bit of time here as we have been encroaching upon a very long day. Volcanic Island to find for Sharky. See what Richie, diving elbow drop, finds the Volcanic as well.
Just wait till Twinning Staff drops, then it'll be real twinsies.
Twinning Staff, huh? All right.
Different art.
Players having some friendly exchanges here. I don't even know the text on Twinning Staff is. Get the NTG pod up here.
I don't even know.
Ah, there's Ryan. Ryan has found chat and is here to say, play Godo. Thank you, Ryan. You're so insightful.
That looks nice on camera.
Go to good deck? Go to good deck.
Clearly Subjective Reality thinks so, and it certainly is in the hands of Subjective Reality as Mox Diamond going to be the follow-up for Sharky. Wooded Foothills going to hit the bin. Chrome Mox. Oh, this is a lot of mana.
Force of what?
Force of Will.
Okay.
Force of Will underneath Chrome Mox. Do we maybe a turn 1 wheel?
Turn one wheel, turn 1 Mystic Study?
Mystic Remora on turn 1. Well, that's a very powerful one.
Fish is cool, I'll pass.
And that one looks like it's going to work. 2 cards left for Sharky. And surprisingly, the player going fourth, the one with the most explosive turn 1.
Sharky was not a believer in the membrane trap.
A red blast coming down for Richie is going to come after that fish while it's on the stack. And that's going to trigger Esper Sentinel. Lisby has another card coming. Sad about it, says Sharky, and I would be too. As we go back to Lisby's turn. Part of the beauty of Esper Sentinel kind of does the same thing as Mystic Aurora, a little bit more tame on the rate, but doesn't get hit by Red Blast.
True. Very true.
Dramith, the follow-up on turn 2. And that is exactly where Lisby wants to be, especially with Kark Sakashima following up going second. Guess what? Those can stay in the command zone, Richie.
Oh my
Same with
goodness.
Godo.
There
Same with it
was-
all. Drannith, great here.
All the
Go
value
right
engines.
there.
These are all commander value engine decks, commander centric decks,
Not the
and
one that cares the least.
that
Hopefully
Ramon-
Ryan has stopped watching. I don't know if his heart can take this. I'm watching the Drannith on Godo action here. There's no way he can take this. I know someone shield his eyes. Oh no, he saw. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, as we go back, can't get a great look at that. I think it's a snow-covered mountain from the Secret Lair artwork for our diving elbow drop. Can't imagine that one's going to matter too much as we pass the turn very quickly, going to Subjective Reality, who plays a mountain for turn.
You know what? The Goda has a landing point. No fair. I believe.
You believe. You
I
believe.
believe.
Well,
I
for
believe.
Ryan's sake, I hope you're right. For Lisby's sake, I hope you're wrong.
3, correct.
We just need a contour level. We're not there yet. We have
12. You have to cast the lightning bolt too.
I mean, come on, end step, mana efficiency.
Okay, mana
efficiency.
Okay,
There we go.
I mean, yeah. If you're gonna try to win this turn,
consider because there's now lots of open.
Looks like we're talking about maybe removing the Drannith, and it was like, yeah, if you're gonna try to win this turn, and I think we're doing some counting. I don't know if we can win this turn, but
That's a lot of ritual.
yeah, I mean that'd be a lot of mana, and with the Mystical
lot of
Aura
mana.
over in play, like only one card coming from Lisby. You have to imagine the shields may be a little bit down. Richie has a lot more cards in than we thought. Looking at like 4, I think.
No, I know the side has completely confused me. I don't know what happens there.
You don't even know what's going on.
I don't know what's going on.
Drannith is just boggling everything up.
So bad in the spot.
Why do you think I just?
I don't even think. I mean, what could those cards? Desperate into Paretic into Feeding Song. I mean, that's
Is Dockside part of the equation? That's only 3. It's probably not it. I mean, if it's Treasonous Ogre, we're done, right? Like, if it's Treasonous Ogre,
okay, yeah.
like if it's just Ritual Treasonous Ogre, then we're in the clear. That's kind of the card that's just broken in half.
Sure, that's it. Don't slow roll the ogre.
Look,
Don't slow roll the ogre.
Look, they gotta make sure. They gotta make sure that
we're
we have a
fishing
win
for
here.
information. Fish for information. That's fair.
Okay.
Fishing for some information is perfectly fine.
27 plus 12
Is this backwards?
is 39. Can't do that. Can't do that.
Yeah, they're doing some math here. There's a lot of math to be done here. It's a high stakes situation. There's a lot of blue cards at the table already on turn 1. Had some interaction being fired off. A lot to think about. And this is kind of part of how you thread the needle with Godo, from my experience. You know, it's a very powerful deck, but it's not that powerful if you just run it head first into the counter spells. You need to know when to pick your spots, and that's kind of the beauty of combo decks. Is there's a lot of skill in finding your spots. And Subjective Reality says not today. As we pass the turn over.
I disagree. Combo decks are there to keep banging on the door until the door falls apart. That's what we're here for.
See, that's why you favor things like Tron. Just try stuff over and over. You have to thread the needle. It's an art, Ashani. It's an art. And Thalia is not very artful, as we see that one added to the mix for Lisby as well. And that's going to assemble quite the attack force for Lisby and probably put a huge damper in Subjective Reality's plans.
Exactly. That's why we should have sent it. We counted. We said we had 12 mana and we sent it.
You send it, huh?
And we send it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to respond with a Tybalt's Trickery. One of the only options for red counter spells banned in multiple formats due to its interaction with Cascade, finding its home here in...
How are you remove the depletion?
Yeah, we paid for Esper Sentinel here. Finding its home in cedh. I played that in Burgundy as well. I'm a big fan of that card. And yeah, we did pay for Esper Sentinel.
One left now.
So I'm confused. You paid for Esper?
I did using my mountain.
So you removed a
this gives me
counter.
2 mana.
Yeah. You removed a counter to. Okay. So roll your dice and let's.
All right, yeah, let's roll the die.
Figure
Of
out
course,
what
the typical 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If it's a 1, 2, you mill 1, 2, 3, you mill, or 3, 4, you mill 2. You get the idea. 5, 6, you mill 3.
Roll the 1.
Okay, so
What's your roll?
I mill 1
Mill 1.
Mill 1.
And then exile.
It's a Dockside Extortionist.
until I
Yeah,
hit.
that kind of sucks.
Until I hit.
That's
Ember.
one I'm sure that Lisby would have liked to have cast, but 1 is the minimum. Kinky
Oh!
dinky. Okay. Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Does that
That's
come
it's
into
a
play?
card. It
or,
can be good. It can
He
be.
can cast
It's a
it.
little early, but I mean, it is 5 mana,
Not that early. I
Put
agree. I
it
agree.
on the stack.
and there's not any
Yep, I would
ETBs
just
yet. Would have been good with a
remind you that
dockside, I tell you what.
Vocals go
Yeah.
over stream, so please refrain.
Language.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, that's fair.
Do you cast a Kiki or do you put the Kiki on play?
I think the Kiki's in the stack, and Richie is responding with a lightning bolt, paying for Esper Sentinel. That one I have to imagine is targeting the Dranith and Magistrate.
Wait, meanwhile, we've got Godo making math. Do you have an answer for the Godo?
In my hand.
Oh, a little politics here about the Godo. Do you have an answer for Godo?
I mean, that's
Asked
too
Richie.
late. The lightning bolt went on the stack.
That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at.
That question is irrelevant.
I'm not even sure I'd answer that question, Doug. I don't know.
I don't know, man. But
We'll
Sonny's
see.
on the stack.
I have
Let's
an
go.
entire turn to take. What do you mean?
Yeah,
and yeah, we it looks like we are done with the conversation. Dranith's gonna hit the bin. Kiki looks like it's going to resolve.
Outside looking in.
Has haste. Great attacker for Timna.
I mean, facts.
Okay.
Alrighty.
Swing one.
Richie kept
at
Richie,
Shark 12.
David Elberdrum. Richie kept a
Yes,
very responsible hand.
White, yeah. Red Blast, Lightning Bolt has done all of the interaction for the most part across these first few turns. Tibble's trickery, I guess, counts, but Blast and Lightning Bolt, a little more traditional ways to get it done.
To make a copy of your Esper Sentinel. And with that copy of the Esper Sentinel, swing its subject.
Yeah.
To keep them off of.
Or just do
that. Yeah, or just do that.
Yeah.
Okay, it looks like we're talking about swinging it
Swing three,
subjective to try to
swing
keep
three
the
is
treasonous
subjective.
ogre count down. I like the politics here a little bit. Sharky, of course,
nice.
wanting to look a little bit not sus, but keep the ad nauseum working nicely. And I do agree. I think that Godo is the scariest thing here, right? Like you said, you only need to make 11 mana and the game's over. 6 mana, put the Godo in play. 5 mana, equip the Helm. Bam, wham, bam, done.
Yeah, Godo had a long pause on their turn.
Kill Dranith, but like.
Yeah.
like that.
Could just be showboating, but I don't even know if it's good showboating if you're just showboating, right? Because like now they just think you're a threat. Now you think you're scary. Is Krark going to be able to hit play thanks to the lightning bolt on Dranith Magistrate? Finally, Richie going to be able to play a little bit of this game in the proactive sense as we pass the turn to subjective reality. And we will see. We'll see. It's slam time, is it? It's slam. It's very shot. You would have slammed last turn. Slam this turn. Slam next turn. I don't know.
I would have sent it.
Well, send it is what's going to happen. Is here's a Rite of Flame. That's going to trigger Esper Sentinel on the card coming for Lisby. And we Richie reaching for cards. Yeah, that's a lot of interaction.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of mumbling, a lot of nervous shuffling. Players seem to be a little scared of dying to some Godo, huh?
The real Godo fair.
It's all fun and games, so Godo puts a ritual on the stack.
So if we go Rite of Flame into Darkside goes 1, 2, 3.
3, it's not exciting. That's what I'm saying. Treasonous Ogre is always the best.
It has to be Ogre, right? That's the way.
I mean, it could be like seething. Oh, sure. Here's a Fierce Guardianship. And that one is guaranteed to work, as you can cast it over and over again until there is 2 of them.
You definitely want this one to go to hand, go to the graveyard. You
You
don't want this one to be forever in hand.
Well, you can't have it work and go back to hand. There is only one Krark.
Is everyone good with that?
That is true. That is true. So we both can. Storm irrelevant, or they can just say gets caught.
Man, this is such respect too. Like, what if the follow up here was like Seething Song? Now I get it, because like if the follow up is Treasonous Ogre, you're just in a world of hurt. Like there's no more points to Fierce after that. And I think that really shows some of the power of Godo when you start getting into these spots that you're playing against players that know what's up, they know what's good. Like you're not gonna be able to be like, oh, Rite of Flame, yeah, okay, I'll counter a ritual later. Okay, Treasonous Ogre, haha, nice Fierce, make the thing, kill you. Like.
Right.
No, that's not going to happen. So a lot of respect being shown by Richie by Fierce in that Rite of Flame. I like it a lot. As we pass over to Sharky, looks like that Godo has been stopped for now, and no land drop as the follow-up means that Godo has all spells in hand. And here's a Ristic study from Sharky.
Ooh.
That's a good follow-up
That's a
to
good
all of this
follow-up.
nonsense.
Pay for it.
Okay.
If your six
No
studies
response?
roll,
Are we finally out of gas?
Okay.
I mean,
tap.
probably. I mean, that's
Yeah,
like
okay,
everything.
okay.
But I mean, this is a lot of insurance against what Richie has going on, right? So like now, it feels like a turn cycle happened, and Lisby's position got better. You know, the Crux Kashima player used a piece of interaction on the Godo player, and Sharky just kind of settled in for a longer game, deploying last resource there in Ristic Study, and that's the kind of game Lisby normally wants to be playing anyway.
So let's play City of Brass.
City of Brass added to the lineup of lands for Lisby. Let's see exactly what we can assemble. Kiki Chiki does represent all sorts of crazy tricks
All
that you can do.
yeah.
So I'm not even going to try to theorize as to what the options here might be. I mean, you can copy. There's so many creatures in this deck. There's what, 34 creatures. A bunch of them are good to copy. Let's see exactly what we're going
Losing
to
the dark
assemble.
side is a tad sad. I was thinking maybe we just the game could end with a slam like Dark Guardian and say GG. But
Sure, yeah. I mean, we need the mana source, but yeah, you could.
Yeah.
That's on the table from now on.
That is on the table. Didn't pay for the study trigger for the Elvish Mystic.
Yeah, not paying for
I'll attack
study.
3 at subjective reality.
We're attacking 3 at subjective. I like this. If you're going to respect Treasonous Ogre last turn, you should do so again this turn. Until proven otherwise, I think from now on, we have to assume there's a Treasonous Ogre in subjective reality's hand, which is great for specifically Sharky, somebody who is an ad nauseum deck and is looking to kind of fly under the radar right now. They've developed a great board. They have a lot of mana. Both their commanders are still active. They have a Ristic study in play. They're in a great position, but a lot of the attention is on this Godo deck. And I think that leaves some big openings. You'll notice Sharky probably going to keep their mouth shut for quite a bit of this game, because right now all of the focus is on subjective reality.
I totally agree. Just just as you said, if we're respecting Godo, we respect the Godo until the life total doesn't matter. And I think we're at the threshold where the Godo math doesn't work. Maybe someone can correct me on chat. I think it's 32. Where ogre mass doesn't work unless you have
11 is 11 or 33 is 11 mana. So yeah. This looks like we're past the threshold. So now maybe the attention should start to turn on the player playing black and ad nauseum, or the player that's more ahead. I think the Godo player now suddenly looking a little behind, given how this game has played out.
Absolutely, I'm telling you, he had the window. We did not use the window. We did not use
getting a little bit of hand bleed. I see a red blast among other options there for Richie. Maybe you want to pull those a little bit closer to the chest. Maybe we're just going to cast the blast now. Just blast that Ristic study, move on with our day. Light up the stage after the attack on subjective. That one now only costs 1, and there is a Clark trigger that is also going to trigger Ristic study. And that'll also trigger Esper Sentinel.
Yeah,
so
we need to develop our board.
It's a tough way to do it, though. Every spell you cast is just putting Sharky, who's already in a great spot, more and more ahead. I really just want to, I mean, I understand you need to hit land drops that you can develop Sakashima, and then you don't have to care about these draw engines anymore. But until you have all that, it's so expensive to put spells on the stack. And I think this really shows that, you know, Richie, despite the powerful interactive start, is low on mana sources.
Low on mana sources behind. But it's just bad in this time.
Looks like it may have resolved. Chrome Mox land. Okay. Well, if you're looking for mana sources, these are it. There. Then the original, that was a copy, so the original has to resolve, which is going to find Ancient Tomb?
Until end of turn, you may
right off card. Yeah.
Ancient Tomb might make Sakashima just happen now, and there's Twin Flame. That one's a little awkward, because if we don't cast that one, it's in exile forever, and dual caster's off the table. We did see an impressive dual caster win for Richie to get here in the first place, so that card might be something interested in keeping in the mix. But we'll see what we decide to do.
Let's go ahead and play
You have to imagine Ancient Tomb is the land we're reaching for. And I think we can play this till the end of our next turn. So we might even be able to play it next turn too.
Ooh, okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could set up some kind of like, if we have like Imperial Recruiter here, that would be gas. And you're just like, Recruiter, here's my Dualcaster Mage. It's all face up. What you got? And then, you know, maybe just do a Sakashima kill or whatever. See, let at the stage is until the end of your next turn. Had to just double check that real quick.
What's under that Chrome Mox?
Blue. It's a force of will.
Okay. That's what's that's a Mox Diamond. That's over.
Yeah, this the Chrome Mox.
Yeah, getting a survey of the field as Chrome Mox is going to be cast. It looks like.
Mox, I will have it. You can draw.
Yeah, we're gonna draw off Ristic. So Ristic Study doing a lot of work for Sharky. That hand size growing with every one of these spells.
Also, they have 5 mana online on their turn.
Yep, they got a lot of mana. They got a lot of cards. That's a recipe for success in this format. It's a recipe for success in any Magic Gathering format. Is 4 mana being tapped here. Have to imagine this is going to result in a Sakashima.
No, but I kind of need to have this resolve to stop Godo too.
Little politics going on here, asking to say, hey, like I need to play the Sakashima and I need it to work if I'm going to continue to stop Godo. I like it a lot. I think Godo is no longer a threat. So just trying to maybe ask, hey, will you let this resolve? Are you still scared? Maybe the answer is no.
I will not.
I don't think so. You already
Lisby very fortuitously offers up not to counter it. As Ristic Study going to draw yet another card for Sharky. We'll see.
However,
Sharky have the blowout here. I think Sharky should do it.
Oh no, you're good. That's fine.
I agree.
You guys Sakashima. I was not gonna.
Sakashima resolves.
Alrighty, so how many Sakashima? 2 cards. Alrighty, one. So the Ogre Mask is now not there. So
yeah, the Ogre Mask's not there. We need another piece. So more mana that's not life-based. It can't just be Ogre anymore.
It just can't be Ogre.
Right. It could be Ogre like plus Seething Song. I think we're still good and stuff like that. Any kind of Ogre plus, but it needs to be plus. And we also just need to get to Ogre mana in the first place, right? Like we still only have 3 mana. So we need the mana to get to Ogre, and then some more mana on top of that. Now, that sounds like a tall ask, but the Godo deck is just a lot of mana.
Yeah. Agreed. Miss land drops a few turns. Let's see.
Are you a fan of making land drops, Shawnee? Where do you stand on that?
Listen, I was a fan of making land drops, and then you start playing with 24 lands, and you realize you only need 2. You only need 2, man.
I need a lot more than 2, and so does this Godo player who has found an Urza's Saga.
Okay.
Now we have Ogre maybe, but not. We need plus. But Ogre is close to good enough, and we'll see if that is what Subjective Reality has here. 2, 4. That's 4 mana being tapped very quickly. Sandstone Needle goes away. This is it. There is Treasonous Ogre. That's red flag. Alarm bells going off. This card is one of the best cards in the Godo deck, if not the best deck of the best card in the Godo deck. And we're gonna see what happens.
You
can't really let this one resolve and try to remove it, right? That's just a losing strategy. It just makes the mana in response.
Yeah.
So if it gets to me, I'm passing. I don't have an answer for Treasonous Ogre.
So
I love it. I need this to stop Godo. If it gets to me, I pass.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is the way.
I love it. I love it.
I need this card. Why do you need 2 cards to stop at Godo? It doesn't matter.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry
about it.
I do. I really need it.
You do the math. You're saying, okay, you can't win with straight Ogre. So you need
I think people are doing
ritual.
the math saying, okay, you need to do more. And if you need to do more, I can counter that.
Right. And I get more cards while doing it. Seems great.
Yeah, it seems appealing.
So priority on Sharky.
And this is the Ura, right? Like we lost the Sandstone Needle. Like Urza's Saga goes on like 2 turns. Like things aren't getting better for Subjective Reality. It's time. And I think the Treasonous Ogre is a loud declaration of just that. Now, Lisby does have 2 mana up. This is not only a deck that likes holding that much mana up. Normally, decks that deploy stacks effects might. Yeah, I have to imagine there's something.
The
going on here.
silence?
It is on the
No,
stack.
That would be
silence.
nasty.
No, silence a mono red deck.
Oh,
Don't do
if
it.
your answer's
You
silence,
need it for
Ooh.
shark.
Ooh, silence would be good.
Okay.
Drew, if you're
And that, oh, I saw a silence of Shotty.
Oh.
It's a silence.
Oh.
It's a silence. Oh no. And there is
So
the card you called out very, very astutely. Silence, looking like we're going to be paying for that Ristic
for the
study
study?
as well.
I'm
So-
not casting a lot of spells. I need to resolve my commander, and I would need to resolve another spell. It's not like a slew of them.
No.
needed a silence
We
message.
just need to resolve spells to win the
I mean,
game.
we're-
Love
we're just
love the
getting-
conversation that we're having.
How many
It's
cards
it's
do you have?
insightful, really.
It's
The
great, it's
silence
great
is put
conversation.
on the stack, and I did not get a great listen if we paid for Ristic, but Sharky is sitting pretty now with a full hand refilled thanks to Ristic study. All these players tapped low, looking like Lisby's gonna be tapped low as well.
I do
You know,
not have
it's time.
interaction.
You're talking about CDH about how the first person to try to go off
That
doesn't
makes
usually
sense.
get there. Subjective reality, I would say,
pay
is kind of the
for-
first person here attempting to go off with this treasonous ogre, and Sharky, I think, is primed to pick up the pieces if that Ristic study has drawn anything resembling a good card.
I
No, I'm not
totally
gonna-
agree. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a
Yep.
you know,
And
he could
another
be
card
right.
coming for the Ristic study. Chooses not to pay. Suggests maybe additional interaction.
So silence on the stack, silence resolve is correct.
And did intentionally retap too the
The
scrubland untap
scrubland.
over the plateau. Maybe is there something in black? What do we have?
I don't think there's anything in black, but take a look see here. See if we
Looks like basically just vampiric tutor.
Untap. Drop.
And
Yeah.
looks like Treasonous Ogre does get to stay in play. So if Subjective Reality gets another turn, I mean, they get to untap with Treasonous Ogre and mana. So like, it's not like the problem goes away, but like, obviously Subjective Reality very much stifled for now. And like I said before, Sharky primed and ready to do something extremely impactful with their, I mean, what do we got? Ancient Tomb, 3 other lands, Mox Diamond, Chrome Mox. I mean,
it's time for us to start doing Grixis things.
yeah, it's
Grayson-
time for mana. It's time for cards. It's time for it all. The interaction's basically spent trying to stop Godo. You have a pile of cards. If you have anything at all, it's time. It's time.
Take 2. Cast Tavish.
Okay, we're sticking to our word. We did say we're gonna cast our commander. Okay. The best side, wanna make some throws, make 2 dudes.
I'm gonna make 2 throws and pass.
Okay, sticking
That's
to
it?
our word. Okay.
That's it.
I mean,
That's it.
he said that.
That's it. Tavesh.
Okay, before we go to
Listen,
All these
That's
cards, all this mana. We have Tavesh.
I don't need to discard.
I'm gonna-
I mean,
right now.
not pay.
the
I guess.
best leaving up what? Are we leaving up?
And it is Vampiric Tutor, that retap. We sniffed it out. Vampiric Tutor is the card.
Oh, get that fellow darn. Get the
Yeah,
fellow
now
darn.
we're.
Oh,
I mean,
let's go.
maybe not. Maybe we're not done. Like, it's easy to say, oh, maybe we're done. But like, if Sharky doesn't have anything that wins the game
Oh,
with
did
all
you
this
pay
mana,
one
it has to
for
just be
it?
It has to be just
huh?
interaction.
Right,
right?
mana and interaction, right? So like,
It's a beneficial trigger. You missed it.
So it's a trigger, and your opponents can choose to put it on the stack because it's mistriggered.
It's fine with me. I missed it. It's okay.
we maybe missed the Ristic trigger.
Well, we missed the Esper trigger off the Tavesh.
We missed the Esper trigger on the
After
Tavesh.
first
Okay.
sacrificing both, make 2 black.
We're sacrificing a creature
Ew.
and we're casting Opposition Agent.
The mana we left out was a Phyrexian Tower. Okay.
Ah, I did not get a great look at that land. Phyrexian Tower able to make double black, and alongside the Mox is able to produce a Opposition Agent, a card very good against Godo. So we already know we had that one covered, huh? And also very good against the Vampiric Tutor on the stack. And now things look real bad for Lisby as we're going to get a look at the hand. Full of creature. Felidor's already in hand.
Oh,
Felidor's already in hand.
Oh.
We're going for protection. And
let's
now,
go.
now Sharky knows about it, but there's no mana left for a removal spell. So it
There's
has
no
to be a
mana left
counter
for
spell.
removal. And
Oh, it's the
those
okay.
colors? It has to be free.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like what?
No,
Is there
Deadly
anything?
Relic. Deadly Relic. If he plays Deadly
Okay,
Relic, it's
okay,
alright.
Deadly Relic, Deadly Relic. That one
Yeah.
works.
Dockside is in my grave, yeah.
That is tough.
Okay.
Let me go grab
All
a
right.
crypt or like a soaring.
So things have gone bad for Lisby, but it could be worse.
Could be worse. Oh my goodness. Had the fella done. Look.
Had it
Look.
already. And there's some draws that just straight up do it, right? Because like if we have enough mana, if we can produce enough mana to put a Grand Abolisher in play first, we're just all done here, right? So like maybe something like the Eldritch Evolution finds Dockside, make enough mana somehow. Oh, but you can't do that under opposition agent. Yeah, I don't know. But if we can find a way to make 2 additional mana,
So we're this
We
gets
can-
face off. So let's
we
see
have
what-
draw steps. We have draw steps that give us some help. And maybe that was what this vampiric was gonna go get, right? Like we already have the Grand Abolisher too, so maybe just go grab like Dockside.
Yeah, I
with
think-
1, 2,
Yeah, I think
3,
it was
4,
grabbing
5 or whatever.
Cradle. Yeah, I think
Will I
the
reveal it?
Cradle
the
works too.
Dockside, yeah,
Yeah,
the
it's
Dockside
so
was
so.
in the graveyard, so it got milled. Of
Okay,
the
so-
they got deflected swap.
Deflecting SWAT.
That
So that can
works.
SWAT. Yeah, that does the same thing. I guess Relic might not be in the deck. Actually, we can take a look. I don't know why I'm guessing.
I mean, yeah, we do have the deck list.
Yeah, no, there's no Relic. It has to be SWAT. It's the only card.
So do we go grinder? Do we just hope? So this is what we're doing. We're hoping to draw Cradle right off the
Or
top.
we can grow Cradle, Dockside. I don't know if there's other things, but Cradle and Dockside are like the obvious two, right? Where if you draw these, you draw a way to make some extra mana. You can Abolisher, then Felidar, and nothing matters. We're done.
And nothing matters. Correct.
Unless the Godo player has some sick lightning bolt or some craziness going on. We've already
Listen,
been told
if I am the
trickery.
Godo player, I'm already salty. They spent the whole time dealing with me. I'm out.
I love your salt things. So this is the color commentary the world needs. I need to know the salt levels as the game progresses.
This is a salt that I would have. They have spent the last 3 turns stopping me. Deal with it. Deal with it.
You got
Not
all
my
those
problem.
answers. How you gonna play answers to come after me? Where's your answers now? Huh? Should have
Exactly.
had them. Should have had them.
Should have had
All right.
Agreed.
Big draw step for Lisby. Could be
Cradle.
the game right here.
Right off the top.
See what it is. Reaching for
We're
mana.
grabbing for the double white.
Yeah.
Oh, don't slow roll me, Liz. Don't do it. Oh, my body. My body, Drake, my body can't handle it. My body can't handle it.
Land returns Windswept Heath. I wouldn't sacrifice that one.
That's not it. Okay. You have the mana crypt. The mana crypt works.
Mana Crypt does it as well. Yeah.
So many life draws.
Soul Ring does not do it because our land doesn't work.
I
I
wish.
think there's some better things he can do with Zealous Conscripts.
I don't see it.
If there was one
There is one.
somewhere. Oh yeah.
Sorry, I gotta
No,
make
the
a
SWAT's
decision.
face up. Lisby knows that. So we can make a mana, we can make an Elvish Mystic. That makes 1 mana. So the land actually was good enough if it worked,
If it worked.
but it doesn't. Okay. So we're just.
It's
Yes.
Felidar.
Does this just work?
Yeah, because you cast the Felidar Guardian. No, it
Oh,
doesn't.
we're just dumb. Okay,
No, it
so here's
doesn't work.
Felidar Guardian. Here you go. Beat this. Yeah, because you target the Kiki.
You
and
can
then-
put it on the stack, tap it. But when
Well,
the
no,
tap,
what if we just say okay?
so if he taps it, right? Because the ETB on the stack respond to the
Okay, yeah, you have to
ETB.
put both on the stack at the same time. So you need to say
Yeah.
target this, hold priority activate or whatever, right?
Right.
You can't let it resolve. You can't pass priority.
Priority.
I think that's what's happening exactly here. Yeah, here we go. So now there's a trigger on the stack and an activation on the stack. Activation above the trigger.
Above the
targets
trigger.
Kiki. Kiki targets Felidar, and 1 SWAT isn't good
That's not it now,
enough.
'cause no, there's still a Felidar Guardian on the stack.
No. So the Felidar Guardian will.
It's in the battlefield.
It's gonna make a copy.
Yes,
of
the Felidar Guardian ETB is on the stack.
Yeah, it's gonna make.
Yeah,
copies
Felidar
of it,
Guardian
For
ETB on the
12.
stack.
and then you swap it,
Oh,
and then he basically goes to blink it. When he
Wait, so we make a copy.
do my swap.
That Felidar. So wait, no,
Yeah.
it doesn't work, right? Because the Felidar, you make a copy.
So Felidar
Right.
Guardian, so
No, it does work. It does work. It does work.
You
Already
swap the
untap
copy.
Kiki.
It doesn't untap the Kiki, right?
Want the
Your
copy,
Kiki is
but the
already
original
Felidar
still
already.
works. Yeah, this
But-
just works. We need to have another piece. You need 2 swats or another piece.
Trigger on the stack to flicker Kiki. With that on the stack.
Wow, the SWAT didn't matter.
Copy of Felidar Guardian. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, well, it matters if there's another one.
Yep.
It matters if there's another one, or something like, Richie has one,
Swap.
or even if Subjective has one, you can hard cast it, right? 9 life, here you go.
Right.
So
if
two
you-
swats does it,
Alright,
two SWAT, our SWAT plus removal does it.
or SWAT plus removal. Yeah.
It has to be two
SWAT
things.
plus something, but SWAT itself isn't good enough because of the interaction. And heads up to Lisby. I mean, it's been a long day. We missed it. We're sitting here trying to figure out how to get Grand Abolisher in play. This is why they're in the finals and we're over here.
Absolutely.
Lisby
Absolutely.
has figured it out. This is how I beat one SWAT. And based on how the table has postured, I can't imagine there's a lot else at the table. I like Lisby's chances here.
I like
And
this.
this is for everything. This is for the trophy. This is for the invite. This is for the victory.
You can kill the Felidar in your turn. So, what I suggest we do is you can have the Felidar.
There's no. Oh, if they let the Felidar trigger resolve, if you let the ET, you let the Kiki trigger that's on top of the stack resolve.
Just redirect
Yeah.
Copy the Felidar.
Yes.
Felidar-
Target the Kiki again.
Yeah. No, there's even if you.
I
wait
mean,
until the
removal
last-
works no matter what. And basically, the only thing that makes that SWAT matter is another SWAT
Yeah, that-
or a copy spell. If like there's a dual caster mage that Subjective has, you could be like SWAT. Okay, then put the other trigger on the stack or whatever. Dual caster mage the SWAT. So then there's 2 SWATs.
Okay,
The
so-
only time the SWAT matters is if there's a second one.
Um,
Removal always works. Counterspell, we've passed that. It's silences, we've passed that. It's removal, or like somebody has a removal spell and SWAT doesn't really matter, or it's a second SWAT.
So
And
let's
that matters.
It's on you.
talk
It's
about
on
what
you,
the stack.
Shark.
Yeah. So the stack right now is that there's a Felidar at the bottom of the stack is Felidar trigger targeting Kiki, and on top of that, which will targeting the Felidar.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So-
priority to diving elbow.
No, I've already passed. We're
Okay,
we're,
so
we're at
Jeff-
Shark.
Diving elbow says,
We're
I
at
don't know
Shark.
them shit. See ya.
Okay. So I'm gonna have to ask for a decision to be
Shark.
made on this Kiki targeting
I
Felidar
would
ability.
go ahead and if you go ahead and deal with it, I can back you up.
Deal with what? Kiki targeting Felidar?
Yeah, you
And
just have
copy
to.
something else?
Yeah, I can do something. It's not the
Okay,
greatest, but
so
I can do something.
I SWAT Kiki to target something else.
Targeting what?
You swap the ability.
This is a question. I'm asking diving.
Yeah,
swatting.
I would swat the.
A little bit of
the
politics
Kiki
going
to
on.
If you
target,
swap the Kiki ability,
probably the mana.
it doesn't matter.
And
Even
not the
if you
Felidar
say he has
Guardian?
something to back it up, it doesn't matter what he has to
Okay.
back it up.
Guardian.
He has
I
to.
will SWAT the Kiki Jiki.
It has to be a second swap.
So SWAT target
Yes.
from the Kiki to the Elvish Mystic.
I would not SWAT to the Elvish
You're
Mystic,
gonna
but
SWAT
sure.
Esper Sentinel.
So he's
I will
finally casted it.
change
They're not
target
talking about it
to
anymore.
Elvish
Okay,
Mystic.
yeah. So we're swatting the
Okay.
Kiki activation.
Deflect the SWAT.
Oh,
Targeting the Mystic?
I think so.
Okay.
Let's go make a green mana. It's gonna trigger Esper Sentinel. Esper Sentinel's gonna draw a
Okay,
card.
So
Not a load of counter
this
spells in the non-blue
resolves.
deck.
I'm gonna get an Elvish Mystic copy.
Elvish Mystic
Yes.
copy is made.
Okay, Felidar
Okay.
targeting Kiki.
Now Felidar targeting Kiki.
Now Felidar
So,
targeting
Has to
Kiki.
be another deflecting
I will
swap.
show you a deflecting swat.
And it's another deflecting SWAT.
I've got two.
That
triggers.
his
That's
hand
triggers.
was
Triggers can
so
be-
safe.
It's another SWAT.
That was a very safe and
It's a
respectable
second
hand.
SWAT.
I will-
What?
Go
Oh
for it.
my god.
Mhm.
Wow.
Let's see
Richie,
who
just all the
wins rolls
interaction
against.
coming up huge here.
All right, so
And-
Liz has no. Liz doesn't
I
have a
will make a
commander.
copy of deflecting swat. I will still.
So nothing.
So Felidar can flicker anything. So you can actually flicker something that you want to flicker, right? Flicker like a mana source and untap a mana or something.
Okay, is it any target or is it card you control?
Let me get a quick read on Felidar Guardian. Noah can get it up for chat while I probably faster than I can find it. Felidar Guardian. Enters the battlefield. Exile another target permanent you control. It is you control. Okay. So yeah, you'd probably just swat. Yeah, you'd swat it to the token or whatever. Just make that die.
Oh, yeah,
Makes
yeah,
it green. Here we go. We floated a green. And
Copy, jeez.
did it go back to hand? Or is it graveyard?
I guess I will. I don't even know how this is gonna work. I'll
You
make
can still
copy.
target things.
It says you may, so you don't have to target.
Oh, I see what happened here.
Are there any other targets on there that I'm missing?
There's nothing else on the stack.
No, there's nothing on the stack.
Yeah, there's nothing else to swat. Yeah, we're just trying to figure out if there's anything else to swat. Looks like we had double copy, so swat is going to hit the bin, which is a big deal. Especially if Richie's going to try to assemble anything resembling a win. I have to imagine the back is finally gone. We've been through so many things.
There's so much interaction.
We've been through so much stuff that I have to imagine. I mean, he did keep a landlight hand. If it's not lands, what is it? You know?
Yeah, true. Very true.
Yeah, what do you mean? You have tons of mana.
Now. Okay, I'm open. Sorry.
I would like to. I want to cast a dork, but I feel like I can't.
Yeah, once Lisby talking about how they want to cast a dork, but they feel like they can't. I mean, there's so many cards in Sharky's hand now. I have to imagine now if Sharky gets another turn, it's not going to be as tame as Tavesh Go. Even though that did result in actually a game-saving opposition agent.
I'm not going to feed you more cards.
And not going to feed you more cards, says Lisby. Elects not to play the dork that they claim they have and pass the turn over to Richie, who it feels like was not terribly likely to get another turn and did.
Have 7 cards in hand.
All right, what else is left in this great man's hand? Because
who knows? It's Richie. They've had it all. They've had everything. What else? Here's an Overmaster. That's a good one.
That's a great one.
That's a really good way to kick this off. And that triggers both Esper Sentinel and Rhystic Study. I think it is go time for Richie, as every player in turn order has attempted a win. Richie, the last one to do so. We'll see if he can be the first one to succeed.
And he has access to that twin flame.
Do you?
He has access to that twin flame. It has been a long time, but he does have access to that twin flame, which means if there's something like a dockside involved in the mix, forget about it. That's a lot of mana.
That's a lot of mana.
That's a lot of mana.
Okay. How threatening do we think this is? I can try to.
I think it's
Sakashima.
Wait,
is Sakashima red now? Because it's dark?
Sakashima's red.
Okay, never mind. I can't do anything.
I think it's.
I believe subjective reality might have a blast, given that they were like, "Is Sakashima red?" Oh, never mind. I can't do anything.
The way I'm using this blast.
I have to imagine being blue might matter here, and this red.
Yep.
All right. Overmaster. How do we feel about that one? Can't get a great look at the flips here. Let's see if I can move this out of the way. There we go. Yeah, odd, I believe, is copy. So we got a first copy.
Yeah, then we have one more trigger.
One more trigger. Even is bounce. That is a bounce.
That goes back to hand.
So we paid a mana to draw a card. But the next spell is uncounterable. So if you have something big like a Frantic Search, it'd be a good time to fire that one off. I keep saying all these cards. Richie's already been through so many exactly what they needed, right? Like, who knows what's actually left? As we're doing a little bit of mana math here. We do have an Arid Mesa we can play, but we can't crack it until that opposition agent goes away.
Swat's in your graveyard now, Liz.
Maintaining the board state a little bit. That SWAT does go to the graveyard. Void Snare. The spell we're casting. That one bounces things.
So you target the Oppo and the Kiki?
And the Kiki? Yeah, that or like your Chrome Mox or something. I can't imagine you doing that. Oppo Kiki is what I would target, but let's see exactly what's up here. As so one makes a copy.
The target, I will copy it and have against the target be Chrome Mox. Actually, I will.
Chrome Mox is the copy. We're gonna likely hold priority here and float some mana.
I will put the copy on the stack. I would like to hold priority, tap for a red, and
so the copies on the stack targeting Chrome Mox. That's from the first trigger. There's another trigger on the stack as well, and then of course the original. Right. Now we have floated red. Chrome Mox back to hand. Red Blast should go to exile. Bam, gone. Okay, second trigger.
Void Snare again.
Void Snare again. Let's see where that one's gonna go.
This is the second trigger.
Second Kruk trigger.
So I feel like he's trying to set up to get red mana to be able to cast that Twin Flame because of the.
Okay, so that's the.
Right now.
That's a copy. So we have. So we're gonna have two. I didn't hear what the original targeted.
I don't remember either.
This Void Snare will go at.
Well, that's what I'm trying to.
It's not a copy of Void Snare. I will put this copy.
If you want to search, because you have a land drop within the Arid Mesa.
Yeah, I mean the floor is the opposition agent, right? So you can crack your land, but so can Lispy.
If we make it around.
I mean, if you already have a land,
and I guess I guess if you bounce the Oppo, you don't have the win. You give Godo.
Yeah, it's a big problem if you don't have a win here. And Void Snare being the use of blue mana would suggest that maybe we're light on things that win the game.
This Void Snare is going to go at the. It's gonna have to go. I mean, he can recast Kiki-Jiki, right?
It's like yeah, we're talking about Kiki-Jiki. Aristic Study is a reasonable option if you're going to cast more spells.
And there's this.
There's a lot to think about here.
There's a lot. This is a very, very interesting part.
Kiki-Jiki is not actually recastable on board because there's not a third red yet.
So we've got we got a copy on Oppo and on Kiki.
Okay, the original is targeting opposition agent. This copy sounds like it may be targeting the Kiki-Jiki, and it looks like that's going to happen. Now, remember, the original can't be countered thanks to Overmaster.
Correct. So
has been a while since that Overmaster happened, but that is actually the case here. And opposition agent has gone to hand. So shields are down as far as covering the Godo with what's on board. Now, of course, there's a lot more magic. I have to imagine.
There's a lot more magic
about Karkashima. If I know anything about this deck, there's a lot more magic to be played this turn. But for the moment, that is it. As we very quickly fetch with this Arid Mesa, everybody says, okay, here you go.
This gives us a Steve Risk. I think we need another blue source here.
I think we need another blue source for sure. We got a red floating still from that Chrome Mox that is still in the hand. Have to imagine that's also part of the equation if we bounced it.
Oppo and Kiki. Interesting.
Say again?
No, I would say the Oppo and the Kiki were very interesting to bounce. I
think this is some of the best things in the table to bounce. I mean, maybe Treasonous Ogre is like an appealing bounce, but like, I don't know. I kind of want to force the other two players who are way ahead to stop the player after me if I'm going to try to get another untap if things go wrong here.
Yeah, especially because you're drawing sharp cards through this whole process.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, and that's part of why I maybe want to trigger Ristic if I'm planning to continue to try to go off this turn. Obviously, you don't care that much about Ristic Study, but if you like fail for whatever reason, just something, a few rolls don't go your way, then the Ristic Study is what is going to kill you. Right. Now, maybe you think you're dead anyway. That's a fine assessment as well. So there's a lot to think about, but there was a lot of reasonable options there. I think that if you just pass the turn, like bouncing Kiki doesn't matter that much because, Sharky's kind of, the onus is on them to answer it anyway. They have 1,000 cards. So just make them answer it and answer things on Sharky's field. Either way, Steam Vince is what is found for Diving Elbow Drop and very quick tapping mana for Serum Visions. Red floating still.
Eric more and more cards and he's getting closer to winning.
Pretty good. We're digging though. We're digging.
This one could be red blasted if that's something Subjective Reality does want to reach for. I think that might be a little hasty,
I'm
but
pass priority on the Serum Visions.
Well, you are last, but
yeah,
pass priority on
I can
Serum Visions.
still signify
Ristic.
Not
passing.
Sure. We're not paying for Ristic. I don't think he's paying for Ristic as long as he's on this turn.
Yeah, I have to imagine we're not paying for Ristic unless this is the last spell we intend to cast, which we know about Chrome.
Goes back to hand.
Even double bounce.
Not good.
There's the fabled double bounce. That's not good. Okay.
We have the dark side.
Oh my gosh.
We have an Overmaster.
That's our last colored source.
Yeah, that's the last colored source that we know, but we know about the Crow Box actually. So if there's a card that we want to get rid of, then we can find it. I mean, something like red card plus Dockside is just, it makes the map look bananas, right? So like It's not deterministic that we're done yet, but things start to look bad. That first copy is a good hit. That's an important one. We'll see if another copy comes across. And that's a bounce. So one card drawn for 1 mana. No Ancestral Recall for red. But Overmaster's live as Mox Diamond the play. Did not know about that one. Pitching a Scalding Tarn. That one's going to trigger Sharky's thing again. Does not clear the Overmaster. Overmaster only looks for instants and sorceries. Serum Visions again. Okay, here we go. This one is uncounterable.
We're super digging. We're trying to get somewhere.
And the card coming for Sharky. Yeah, we're not paying for that. No, thank you. You draw your card, says Diving Elbow Drop, as we are about to push the roll button, and a 6 back to hand. Oh, man. And there's a 5. All right. We have paid 2 mana, 2 blue, and we have assembled a copy of Serum Visions.
So is this draw a card, scry 2, or the other way around?
You draw a card, then scry 2. Preordain is the other way around.
Ooh, like both of them? Are we thinking about it?
I think we're thinking about it. You never like both the cards, Shawnee.
You never like both the cards. I'm saying
I don't like both the cards. I'll tell you that.
If you're drawing hot, then I guess so.
Yeah. I mean, Richie's already drawn pretty hot. This is the first time we've seen things kind of begin to go wrong. Hell of a time for the hot streak to end, though. All right. Yeah, looks like we're thinking again on the 2, 1 top, 1 bottom, as is the average. Yep. yeah, as expected. All right, Chrome Mox. Yeah, there's the Chrome Mox. So we left one on top. Are we looking to draw that right away? Let's find out.
We still have the Overmaster if we want to draw.
No, the Overmaster was cleared by the Serum Visions. But yeah, we can cast it if we want to draw the card, but then we only have colorless.
Now we only have colorless.
All the Overmaster copies, when it copies, they all stack on top of one thing.
Right? On one spell, correct.
Yeah, one spell. So your next spell is counterable.
Yeah.
Super uncounterable.
I get to resolve Chrome Mox.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
The last
so Chrome Mox looks to be resolving.
Is it? Maybe we want to interact with the Chrome Mox?
Come on. If we have to interact with anything else, is Chrome Mox where you're going to draw the line?
Hey, I mean, it seems tight on mana. What does that spell?
Didn't get a great look at what that one was. It looks blue. Yeah. And Serum Vision is going to be cast again. Another card coming for Sharky. So Sharky has approximately 4.8 million cards in hand.
Agreed. All right, Serum Vision. Let's see if we get luckier.
Well, there's the first one. We get a Serum Visions.
So we draw the card we wanted.
I'm good to do that.
Which is the one he left on top.
Yeah, that's the one we left on top. So these are 2 fresh cards. I saw Pyretic Ritual. Didn't want Pyretic Ritual. Likely need mana then. Another copy. All right, we finally did it. We finally cast better Ancestral Recall. Took a few tries, but we did it.
Yep. Draw this one. And then look at another 2.
And I saw Rite of Flame. Didn't get a great look at the blue card. Both of those go on bottom.
Okay,
and if those are going on bottom, I think we're close to done here. Rite of Flame would have been nasty too. There's one in yard. Would have made 3.
Yeah. And then the
original is going to resolve. Land of some kind. Don't get a great look at that one.
I already played land for turn. That one giving a song on that one.
Double face card I was putting back.
No, you're good. It's just you've been doing that with a lot of the scries, so I trust you. It's just more.
Oh, we're moving our hand too far back. Okay.
Yeah, a little off screen, and it looks like there was an adjustment of a double face card, but the card's going on bottom anyway, so none too sus here. The play space may be a little zoomed in, but just trying to make sure we keep things clean above the table here.
Yeah, definitely fair. Okay, so we need mana.
Mana is the name of the game, as always. I mean, we've seen this before, right? We've seen the blue.
Oh, we still had the red floating. I forgot about that. No, we used the red. We used the red. Yeah.
I think we're out of mana. We have Ancient. We've assembled Ancient.
Understood.
We're not going anywhere this
No,
time.
now it's blue.
Oh no.
I got it. You know what? I tried, guys. Gave it my best. Ship turn.
What our wheels gonna get there?
Already? Richie said, I tried my best. We're attacking it. We're shipping the turn. So, a valiant effort. Maybe one too many bounces coming off the top from the flips there. And now we go back to Godo. And wow, if you're a Sharky fan, I have to imagine you're licking your chops. That's
big. That's a lot of cards.
That's a lot of cards. And Richie's been through the Fierce, the SWAT, like all of the cards that you'd want with a Kark Sakashima if you're going to try to make it through another turn. And if you're a Sharky fan, you're having a good day as this saga is going to tick up to 2. And now we'll see if Godo can somehow find a spot.
Godo. Let's go.
Sharky's tapped out. If it's time to go, it's now. And that's a defense grid. That's the way to start it.
We're sending it. Let's go.
That's the way to start it. Defense grid's how we start. We can
use your interaction, Sharky. Use your interaction. Here we go.
Yeah, there's a Fierce Guardianship to kick it all off. That's going to trigger Esper Sentinel. Yeah, we got that one. Lisby has not forgotten about their Esper Sentinel, even if it's not as good as that Ristic study on Sharky's side.
I know. I'm trying to play hard.
Do you have the Red Blast?
Yeah, if that Red Blast wasn't a bluff or whatever, then yeah, it's time. It's time to pay through life, make a mana, and counter that one.
The only problem, you're already not making it. You have to have ritual.
Yeah, I mean, there already needs to be a lot more mana, right? Yeah. There already needs to be more mana. So hopefully it's enough, and I think that's what we're counting right now. Is if you can afford that 1 mana, because if you can, it's correct to do it. If you can't, then you have to just try to go off anyway. And we do have the Red Blast. We paid 3 life for that, down to 29. Red Blast targeting Fierce Guardianship. Another card coming for Sharky. Let's see if there's another response. There is a lot of cards in Sharky.
Yeah, should have the misstep. Yeah.
Oh, should have the misstep. Shawnee, you speak like a man that's never activated a Grizzlebrand in his life. You ever activated Grizzlebrand, looked at like 3 lands, 2 combo pieces, that's it. Pact of Negation.
Oh, that's not a good sign.
That's not a good sign at all.
We're looking
especially
low
because really likely to resolve, so then you're going to have to pay for that and still find a win. It's pretty easy to do.
You let that one.
But speaks potentially to being out of interaction. As that happens, defense grid's countered, and now
it's overtime.
It's time. It's jam time. It's time.
It's ogre time. Let's
it's ogre time. Ogre time. We got 7 mana, I believe, available, right? No, more than that. 9 mana available. So we have 9 mana. That'll put us to 2. And then we need to find 2 more. I mean, it's not getting better. So if we have a line, it's time. It's definitely time. Like I mentioned a lot about patience, threading the needle. I think we've mostly done your strategy of jamming every single turn.
It was not allowed. It was not allowed to jam.
And it looks like we're paying 6 mana here, which requires 18 life. That'll put us to 11. And there we go. We have cast a Godo. Let's see if that one's gonna work.
You don't lead with a pact if you have nothing else. Unless
that's the only thing you got. You have to hope to draw the Force or whatever, right? But we know Force is under Chrome Mox. Force of Negation wasn't used. There's not much left, Ashani.
There's not much left.
I think Sharky's own SWAT. Can you SWAT the equip?
No Sharky. Oh yeah, I guess it could.
SWAT is maybe the card.
Does equip matter where the creature is? Does it have to be creature that you're
I think it needs to be on Godo, right? Isn't that how that works? I don't know.
Well, I guess there's an ogre too. So I guess
is Godo about to win this?
Hold on.
All right, don't get too excited. I got excited like a full turn cycle ago when there was like Kiki Jiki stuff happening. I was like, oh, we might be done here. Oh, how wrong I was. As here we are back to Subjective Reality's turn, who I thought was very out of this game, has proven they are not.
We're
that
getting
is
the hammer.
Something.
Oh, so we have with this, that means we have a way to clone the god. We have a way to make a copy of the god. Like a twin flame.
Whenever Hammer of Nazahan, that's the card here. Let's get that one pulled up. Hammer of Nazahan. Whenever Hammer of Nazahan, another equipment enters the battlefield under your control, you may attach that equipment to target creature you control. Equipped creature gets +2, +0, and has indestructible.
Just do it
Yeah, so if he has twin flame or any way to make a copy of another Godo.
Yeah, that takes a ton of mana, right? Yeah, like twin flame would work.
Yeah,
I see a heat shimmer. That card pulled to the front there.
Oh my god.
Okay, well that one can be countered. That one can be countered by a Force of Negation.
He has nothing left.
Also, SWAT gets it. And that puts us to 2.
Oh, hold on. Pay for study. Pay for study.
You can't.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
3
that's
mana.
true.
You only had 9, and this is exactly 9. This is why that hammer's in the deck.
I think you got it.
Exactly
What you
9.
got,
Do you
Sharky?
have anything, Sharky?
You have
Sharky
any
posturing.
spells at
That
all
looks like the
that you
man
control?
motions of someone who does not have it.
No, I just knew I wasn't going to need another turn.
Do you have any spells to cast that will trigger my Esper Sentinel?
Oh,
Oh,
no.
we're asking for spells. We're asking for spells. Is Godo going to take it down?
Liz is asking for spells. Does Liz want to interact here?
Liz B, do we have a
Okay,
removal spell?
so
Yo, man
maybe-
works now.
So if Liz has removal, Sharky still has to pay for his pack trigger. I guess there's
Correct.
a world you interact.
No,
if you're a
I
Liz.
have to pass.
Yes, yeah. If you're Liz, you definitely interact. Yeah, that pack trigger is huge. That's
Yeah.
huge.
He doesn't have anything that can draw me a card.
You don't have. Do you have that?
I think we're just trying to find anything to cast at all.
Yeah, we're just trying to trigger it. We're just trying to draw more cards.
The thing is, I'll be honest. Like, Eric's winning on his turn, so. At this
Well,
point,
he's got a pact to pay for too.
The pack only takes about 4 permanents.
Eric is winning on his turn.
I mean,
Which
those are some
is-
important permanents. That's
Yeah,
fine.
he has a Phyrexian on the land. There's no way he didn't draw rocks.
And Lisby has a win in hand.
There's not
It's
enough-
not-
Yeah, you know,
we're not-
you're
we're not
right.
talking
Plenty
about
else.
this.
Plenty else. I'm here. I'm here for
I
you.
have to
I'm
able to
in the
pass
school
all
of playing
the
to your
checks
outs.
Yeah, I'm
Play
passing
to your
everything.
outs.
I'm
Yeah,
passing
you look.
everything. I'm
5 mana's a
passing
ton.
He's waiting with
There's a
bated breath.
chance that Sharky does not have enough mana. They're choked on mana to get it done. It's not outside the realm of reality. As it happened.
Oh,
I mean, that's the helm of the host.
Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so the last part is we need
You gotta equip
to
the Godo.
say-
I mean, if Lisby's just sandbagging us swords, it's gonna be gas.
Nope, we're good.
Not anything that can interact with me.
My God.
I'm
And
so
Lisby says, "Okay." Sharky was posturing like they don't have it, and we're putting cards everywhere. This is just so much stuff.
But I felt like
Oh, because you will have 2 Godos that when you move to combat, they'll trigger? What am I missing?
I was like,
Why do we have all of these things in play?
drew these
I-
cards
I-
to
look,
be,
I
like,
don't know.
way-
Are we
We have-
flexing Godo? Is what happening? Mono Red took it? Is this
Godo Red looks like it's gonna take it as Godo
goodness.
gets
Let's
equipped
go.
with just literally everything. And then when it attacks for the first time, you're going to untap it. All Samurai after that, there's an additional combat phase. Helm of the Host means that that's going to keep happening. So all these equipment are going to come out one attack at a time. So Godo's going to attack for the first time. Thanks to Helm of the Host. That Helm of the Host one is going to trigger, give us an extra combat. Then Helm of the Host make another non-legendary Godo, find another equipment, equip, give us another combat. So all of these equipments are on different copies of Godo. Godo is going to win this game and the January Mox Masters, and Subjective Reality is going to be your first player qualified for the Invitational coming later this year. An impressive run by the Godo deck, able to get it done in the face of a ton of interaction. People talk about Godo like a glass cannon deck, easy to interact with, easy to stop, and here is Subjective Reality proving them all wrong. Interacted with every single turn of the game, including the final turn. Still able to get it done thanks to the power of Treasonous Ogre and Godo Bandit Warlord. And I tell you what, I don't know exactly what Christmas time in the street household looks like, but I have to imagine. I have to imagine it pales. It pales in comparison to Godo winning the Mox Masters in January. This has been just a roller coaster of an event. A ton of high level Magic being played all day to the very end. And I don't know what to say. CDH is awesome. This is a big part of why. Thank you all for joining us. This has been Playing with Power's first Mox Masters event. If you want to play in one of these events yourself, there are more. There's going to be one a month for the rest of the year. February's is already up on the website. You can find that in Imminence's event hub. You can also find more information about that in the Playing with Power server. If you're interested in qualifying for the Invitational, join our Patreon. You can play our league, get some points, and you can face Subjective Reality. Hopefully they will be able to attend our Invitational later this year. And of course, the big announcement that happened prior to this, we have a new series coming that's going to be in-person CDH gameplay. You're going to get a lot more personality, a lot more interesting decks, spicy plays like what you saw today, all thanks to all the support you guys have given us. So please continue to support us, follow, subscribe here, join our Patreon, talk to us. Hey, you know, if you really feel like balling out, there's some Mox Pearl slots that come open every now and again. You can get on a video. We have a ton of offerings for however much you want to support us here at Playing with Power. Thank you so much for making all of this possible. Ashani, thank you very much for joining me. This has been an incredible time.
It was a blast. It was a blast, and it's gonna definitely be better again come February. We do it all over again.
Have not been a repeat. There's been a different deck that's won every Mox Master
Absolutely.
so far. So people screaming at me about solved formats. Partners has only won once. More single commanders have won than partners. Whatever. You know what? You want to complain about Thoracle? You want to complain about the state of cEDH? Mox Master says you don't know what you're talking about. Either way, with that, thank you all for joining us. Have a great night.
Bye.